$5 million. That's how much I've made through day trading at the age of 23. And just like most of you guys, and just like every other trader, I went through a bunch of trial and error to be able to get to where I'm at. And in fact, it took over 2 years of making mistakes, learning lessons, and trying to overcome all the mistakes in order to turn profitable. In this video, I'm going to give you guys my full blueprint so you guys can literally just copy me. Let's get into it. So obviously, like I was saying, everything wasn't just sunshine and rainbows when I first started trading. In fact, it was actually one of the worst periods of my life, but I feel like every single successful person has to go through this rock bottom period in order to make it to where they are at now, similar to me. When I first started trading, I immediately jumped into a live account. I instantly lost all the money that I put into the account because I didn't understand leverage, I didn't understand risk management, and I had no strategy whatsoever. I was just like, yeah, stocks go up. So I placed a buy position, and then what do you know? Guess what? The stock ended up actually going down for that day, and I ended up losing a whole bunch of money. And just like all of you guys, I'm sure that you guys were brought into day trading for the one reason of, I want to make a ridiculous amount of money, and I'm seeing all of these day traders online, on YouTube, with the cars, the lifestyle, the watches, all of this crazy shit, and you're just like, man, I want to be just like them. And I was the same exact way. Maybe you guys are thinking that while watching my vlogs or YouTube videos. Well, guess what? Newsflash, that is actually not what day trading is all about. It can be an awesome byproduct of day trading, and it can be an awesome reward of day trading, but we need to understand the skill of day trading first. And that's where I went wrong for literally the first 2 years of trying to understand day trading. Was my one and only goal was to make money. And that is actually the biggest mistake that you guys can make when coming into day trading, is just thinking money, money, money. How can I make as much money as possible? Because it will lead you to try and get rich quick. And as we know, getting rich quick, it is literally impossible unless you are the luckiest person on the planet. So these are some of the mistakes that I made when I was first getting into trading. First thing was literally watching every single day trading YouTuber and not even focusing on the technicals, not even focusing on the fundamentals, but focusing on their lifestyle. I was like, man, that car is so sweet. Man, this dude's making so much money. And I wasn't learning anything. So that's the first thing that I'm sure a lot of you guys are getting roped into, is you're just like, man, this lifestyle is so cool. I can't wait to start trading. And you guys are completely overlooking the basic and the fundamentals and the technicals of what day trading is all about, and what actually led these people to be able to be in the position that they're in today. So that was really the first 3 months of my day trading career, was just watching this edutainment, which is a new form of entertainment nowadays, where you guys see people like me, you guys see people that are super successful in all these other side hustles, and you're watching their vlogs and you're like, man, these guys are awesome. They're living the life. But you guys are not focusing on the videos that actually are giving the value to the audience to help them get to where we have gone. And that's exactly what I want to do with this video, is to help you guys stay away from all that lifestyle crazy content and help you guys actually get to where you guys want to go. Because prior to all of this, I sucked at trading, and I was getting into the same shit that you guys were getting into. And maybe you guys would watch an education video here and there, and you guys were like, okay, cool, I'm going to try it out. And then you try it out for like 5 minutes, and then you lose all your money, and you're like, man, I suck at this. I'm going to go try something else. Well, again, like I was saying, there's no such thing as getting rich quick, and that's just the sad reality of life. Success comes from a lot of hard decisions and putting in a lot of hard work and being very disciplined and consistent at stuff that other people aren't willing to do. And in turn, because you're willing to do stuff that other people aren't willing to do, you are going to get results that other people aren't able to have. So when I first started, I was doing the absolute bare minimum and wondering, hey, where are my rewards? I was losing thousands of dollars. I was putting in little to no effort, and I really wanted to make it work, but I didn't actually realize what I had to do in order to actually make it happen. And that was really the first 3 to 6 months of my day trading career, was putting in little to no effort. And then I came across a video, or a book actually, by Mark Douglas, which is Trading in the Zone. And this helped me shift, and I highly recommend all you guys go read that book. It changed the way that I looked at trading forever. Essentially, it changed the way that I thought about trading, and it actually put things into perspective for me that, okay, I actually have to be consistent. There's a book and there's a movie, I think it used to be on Netflix, it's called The Secret. This was talking about the law of attraction and manifestation, and I took all of these things to heart. So Trading in the Zone and The Secret, law of attraction and manifestation, I took all of this to heart, and I actually started putting in work. I started manifesting where I wanted to be in my life. I said, man, I want to be like all of these famous and rich day traders that are making a whole bunch of money from trading. And I would write down all the steps and all the goals necessary in order for me to be able to get to these end goals. Obviously, I still stuck to trading when I first started writing these things down, but I was making progress. And that's really where my day trading journey started, because prior to that, I was just making mistake after mistake after mistake, and I wasn't correcting them because I was just so focused on, hey, I want to make money right the freak now. I want to make money today. And that is just not how day trading works. You guys have to put in consistent work and consistent efforts that other people aren't willing to do in order to get results that other people aren't able to achieve because of the work that they've done. So this right here pretty much encapsulates what I was doing within this period. And within this first 3 to 6 month period, I was losing a whole bunch of money. I was over leveraging, I was over trading, and my mindset was shit. I was trading emotionally. I was trading with greed. I was trading with fear because deep down, my subconscious, I knew that I wasn't good at the skill of trading. And in turn, I would end up cutting my profits too early. I would end up dropping my stop loss and letting my losses run forever because I just wanted the trade to go in my direction. And I had no sort of plan in front of me on how I was able to succeed within trading until I actually understood that, hey, this is going to be a long, difficult journey, and I have to be willing to do the work that other people aren't willing to do. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are in the same exact position that I was in back when I was getting into trading, where I was like, man, I'm at this weird position in my life. I'm about to go into college, or for me, I was in high school, but I was a junior in high school, and I was thinking about college and my future. And as you guys know, when you guys are in high school, every single person is like, hey, where are you going to go to college? What are you going to do? What are you trying to pursue? What's the major that you're going to go into? And for me, during that time, I was just thinking, I'm going to make a ridiculous amount of money, but I don't fucking know how, and I don't know what I'm going to tell to these people because college doesn't interest me. Working for someone doesn't interest me. I want to be my own boss, and I know for a fact that I'm going to be able to do it. I just don't fucking know how. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are in that same exact position that I was in, where people are asking you these questions, and deep down you want to tell them, like, I'm going to be a freaking millionaire. I'm going to be doing all these things. But you say that, and they're going to look at you, and they're going to point at you, and they're going to laugh in your face and say, well, yeah, how are you going to do that? And you're going to have nothing to tell them. So that was a big turning point for me, again, where I was like, I don't want to work for anyone. I am approaching college, and this is a big turning point in my life, and for most of your guys' lives, where you guys are going from living with your parents to living on your own, and you have to start making your own money. On top of that, you have to figure it the fuck out. And this was, again, a huge kickstart to my trading career, where a lot of people were asking me these questions, and I was like, fuck it, I got to get on my shit. So that's really what made me want to start trading and made me want to never give up with this, because one, I hated people telling me what to do. That was like literally my least favorite thing ever, and it still is to this day. Someone says, you can't do that, I'm immediately thinking and trying to find a way of me to be able to do exactly what they said that I can't do. And I'm going to make it happen every single time. That's how determined I am, and that's how competitive I am. And this was a situation that actually happened with me between my parents. Now, obviously, they love me and they support me with what I'm doing, but at the time, they wanted what was best for me. And for me, and I'm sure for all of you guys, your parents, they went to high school, they went to college, and they got a regular job. And that was the way to create wealth back in that day. But now we're in an online era of you're actually going to probably end up finding more success going off and doing your own thing and starting out and putting in a lot of time and effort into a side hustle to be able to make money online. And they just can't really comprehend that. And me, I had that vision for myself, but they were consistently just telling me, hey, you keep losing all the money in your bank account, because we had joint bank accounts at the time in high school. Hey, you keep losing all the money in your bank account. Hey, you keep having overdraft fees from Wells Fargo. They're taking money out of your account because you have a negative balance. Hey, what is going on with you? You're not doing well in school. You're making poor decisions. You need to figure it the fuck out. And deep down, I was like, I'm fucking trying, and I know exactly what I want to do. Just give me some fucking time. And it caused a little headbutt between myself and my parents, where they were like, you're throwing your life away. But deep down, I knew exactly what I was going to become. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are going through that as well, where your parents are just like, dude, you guys need to get it together. You guys need to actually focus on school, focus on whatever, passing your classes in college, so that you guys can get a good education and a good job coming out of college. But deep down, you guys don't want that. And hopefully with this video, I'm able to help you guys be able to get to where you guys want to go before you guys end up clashing with your parents, so that you guys can prove them wrong and prove not only to your parents, but also to yourself that this is going to be a sustainable long-term thing. Now, all of this ended up slowly but surely transitioning into a lot of success within trading. Because like I said, it hit that turning point in high school where I was like, man, I actually have to figure this out. Time is ticking and I need to be able to prove these people wrong and also prove myself right, and also be able to support myself financially while I'm going into these new adult years of my life. And when you're first getting into trading, obviously all of the focus is on how can I make as much money as possible. And then you get past that and then you're like, okay, well, if I've been focusing on this for the past 6 months, this isn't going to help. And then you realize what you actually have to do, and you realize that that journey is going to be a lot longer than you thought. Originally, you thought you were going to end up becoming a millionaire in a week, but then you quickly realize after losing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, that that's not going to happen. And then reality sets in. And then you have this long journey of profitability that you have to actually help yourself get through. And in this video, I'm going to help you guys get through that as well and give you guys a step-by-step plan to be able to lead you guys on the straight and narrow path to profitability. But once you guys get through that, it still isn't necessarily all sunshine and rainbows, because for me, when I first turned profitable, I was only making like a couple $100 and a couple $1,000. But as time goes on, that ends up scaling. And that's the awesome thing with these online side hustles, such as trading, where your potential and your scalability within these businesses and within these online money-making methods is so much larger and far greater than any other 9-to-5 job, than any other basic business or any other basic job that you can get yourself into. And the biggest turning point for me was actually sitting myself down at that 6-month mark and being like, look, this isn't going to be easy. This is going to be very difficult, but I know and I have the resources that are all out here online through YouTube videos like this for you guys. Okay. And then at my time, there was YouTube videos and there was books that I was able to read that actually set the record straight of this is what you have to do in order to get to where you want to go. And that period of time for me was super impactful, because I was like, look, I'm just going to put my head down because I have all of these people doubting me. I want to prove them wrong. And also, this is what I want for my life. So once you expand your timeline and understand, okay, this is going to take some time. Not only does it take some time to be able to get to your end goal of becoming a profitable trader, but that timeline never ends, because you eventually are going to realize that your life is going to be infinitely scalable. So it's not just scaling from unprofitable to profitable. It goes from unprofitable to profitable to how can I make more money and how can I be more profitable? How can I increase my profits? And that was the second little phase that I went through of understanding, okay, now that I'm making consistent money from the markets, how can I leverage these different softwares, these different companies within the day trading space to help me make more money? How can I improve my strategy? How can I improve my risk management plan through journaling and understanding what confluences to take and what confluences I should probably stay away from based on my win rate and based on my risk reward off of each of these confluences and off of the strategies that I'm learning. There's infinite ways for you to scale your money in every single business. And that is the hard reality that you guys have to face once you actually end up turning profitable. And once I was able to, again, face that reality, I was like, damn, there's more work to do. And that has led me to be in the position that I'm in today, where you guys have probably seen me go from, if you guys have been following me for a while, I got on social media around 3 years ago, or almost exactly 3 years ago. It's been like 3 years and like a month that I've been on social media. But if you guys look back to where I was when I first started social media and look at the day trading profits that I was initially making, it was like a couple $1,000 days, to now where just recently I was able to make $400,000 in a single day. Again, that's not a typical day for me, but that is the potential that I've been able to get out of myself by continuously working and continuously trying to, one, scale my capital, and two, scale my craft within trading to be able to get better. If you guys compare my entries that I'm taking now compared to what entries I was taking 2 years ago, or even just a year ago, it's a drastic difference, because I understand, hey, I have to continue getting better at the skill if I want to, one, be able to compete with these markets on a daily basis and continue to scale my profits and continue to make money within trading. So again, it's expanding our timeline and understanding that, okay, this isn't just I'm going to get rich in a month. It's not that. And it's not, I'm going to get rich once I turn profitable in 2 years. No, it's not that. It's how can I get rich and make as much money as possible across my entire timeline of life. And that's when the game begins, is when you guys are able to sit yourself down and realize, I have to put in hard work and I have to be disciplined and I have to be motivated every single day in order to be able to get all of these awesome rewards. And that is not only what causes people to stay away from being profitable, but also why 98% of traders and 99% of people aren't able to get in that 1% tax bracket. It's the 1% tax bracket for a reason, because that 1% is willing to do things that 99% of people aren't willing to do. They're willing to wake up early. They're willing to put in work every single day, versus other people, they aren't willing to do that. So they stick to their comfortable, yet what they deem difficult and hard and not the best life. Me personally, I would rather put myself in an uncomfortable position every single day so that I can live the life of my dreams. And I hope that you guys are willing to do that too. So with that being said, let's get into the 3 pillars of trading that can help you guys scale not only your trading, but also your life to these awesome levels that I've been able to achieve. And I know that you guys are able to too. So within trading, just like any other skill, believe it or not, in order to get good at it, you really just have to master the 3 fundamentals. And the 3 fundamentals of trading, you need all 3 of them in order to turn profitable. The first one is going to be psychology. The second one is going to be risk management. And the third one is going to be strategy. I promise you, it's not going to be what broker you choose. I promise you, it's not going to be what trade journal you use. I promise you, it's not going to be whether you're looking at TradingView with a Razer mouse or not. I promise you, it's not the trading setup that you have. I promise you, it's not the number of monitors that you guys have within your trading setup. And I promise you, it's not the number of pairs that you guys look at. All of those are like 0.01% things within trading that a lot of people like to focus on because they're avoiding the hard work that's in front of them. Because these 3 pillars, these 3 fundamentals, these 3 skills, they're very difficult to grow. But if you guys are willing to stick to them and are willing to master these 3 fundamentals, you guys will be able to master trading. It's just like any other skill. In basketball, let's think about the best players in the world. They're not the best players in the world because they know how to do between the legs, behind the back, reverse layup off the glass. They're the best players in the world because they're really freaking good at dribbling. They're really freaking good at passing, and they're really freaking good at putting the ball in the hoop. And they have a good basketball IQ. It's the same exact thing with trading. If we can just simplify this down to 3 fundamental skills and master these skills, then we are going to find success. So the first skill that I want to introduce is going to be psychology. Psychology is by far one of the most important skills within trading, and it is what typically holds a lot of traders back. Risk management and strategy are pretty straightforward, and I'm sure you guys already are like, yeah, I already know how to trade with a good strategy. I already know what a risk management plan is, but psychology is where everybody fucks up. And psychology is specifically what made me fuck up for that first 3 to 6 months of my unprofitable journey, where I was thinking, I just want to get rich as fast as possible. When I go into the markets thinking like that, I'm going to end up making bad decisions, and I'm going to end up making emotional decisions with my money within the market. So within these 3 pillars, there's a couple sub skills that you guys can learn to grow, and I'm going to make them seem rather simple within this, but they're not, or it's simple, but it's difficult to stick to. So the first part of trading with psychology or building your trading psychology is just trading with logic. Again, we are naturally emotionally connected and tied to money within life. Okay, because money puts food on the table, money gives us shelter, money literally, it just makes the world go round, and it's what keeps us alive. Realistically, it's what keeps us alive. It helps us pay for water, helps us pay for food, and puts a bed underneath us when we need to go to sleep. Okay, so the unfortunate thing with trading is that there is a direct correlation of being successful in trading and making money and being unsuccessful in trading and losing money, versus other businesses and other side hustles. There's not necessarily that direct correlation. There is a correlation, but it's not as direct as trading, because in trading, when you press the buy button and price ends up going down and you lose money on that trade, you're like, that I'm unsuccessful because I lost money. And we need to fully detach ourselves from that. Instead of thinking, how can I make money in the markets? We need to be thinking, how can I predict where price wants to go with a high probability on a daily basis? I'm sure you guys have heard me say this over and over and over again in a lot of my videos, but it is 100% true. You guys need to be able to predict where price wants to go with a high probability on a daily basis. That is what leads to making money in the market and being successful within trading. So how do we do that? We trade with logic and trade with the data that is given to us. We aren't trading with emotions. We aren't trading on, oh, I want to make more money, so I'm going to move my take profit a little bit higher so I can make more. No, we're not doing that. We're taking profit because price just hit an area where price could potentially reverse off of this. We are predicting where price wants to go with a high probability. On top of that, we're not entering into a trade because I need to make money today. I need to pay my rent. I need to be able to eat today. And again, a lot of you guys may be in that situation. And if that's the case, you guys need to get a real job so you guys can support yourselves while you guys are trying to learn this skill. We need to focus on being data driven when it comes to trading. And I know this sounds simple, but it's very difficult because once we start trading with real money, we get right back into that emotional phase of, oh man, I wish I made more money today, or I didn't take this trade, and if I did, I would have made money today. We need to fully detach our headspace from that and just focus on how can I predict with a high probability where price wants to go? By trading based off the data that's given to us, not based off of how we feel, not based off of our emotions. We need to be trading based on what the charts are telling us. And I have a whole bunch of different strategy videos and confluence videos that you guys can watch on how to understand price action and how to determine where price is going to go consistently. Okay, you guys can go watch those YouTube videos, but we need to be trading based on that data that's given to us and not the data that's in our head or the emotions that are in our head that are causing us to make poor decisions within the market. The next thing within psychology is making sure that our trades stay consistent. So again, this was a big issue that I went through, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys have went through when you guys are learning how to trade. You guys are jumping from strategy to strategy. You guys will try one strategy, and then you guys are like, well, I lost one trade, so this strategy clearly doesn't work. Well, newsflash, no strategies are going to give you guys a 100% win rate. And on top of that, if it was as easy as just going in, grabbing a strategy off the internet and saying, okay, cool, I just have to follow these 5 steps and then I'll be profitable, every single person in the world would be rich. And we know that that is not the case. And we also know that 98% of traders, they end up failing. And on top of that, they actually don't end up failing. They end up giving up. So if trading was as easy as just grabbing a strategy, trading it, and then making money because you have found a strategy off the internet, every single person would be rich. So it's not as simple as going and just grabbing a strategy and then trying it out one day. And then if it doesn't work, oh, guess this person was a liar. Guess this person was a fake guru. On to the next one. No, that's not the case. We need to, and again, strategy is one of our 3 pillars. It's literally one of our main pillars of being able to be good at trading. We can't be hopping from strategy to strategy. We need to find one strategy that makes sense in our head for why price is going to move. Again, what are we trying to do? We're trying to trade with logic. So if we can understand why price is moving, why price is reacting off of certain confluences on the chart, then what does that give us the ability to do? Trade with logic. And on top of that, when we have a consistent trading strategy and when we have consistent confluences and understand why price wants to move off of these confluences, it's going to help us detach from that emotional connection to money. Why? Because we're going to be trading off of data rather than emotions. Last but not least, you guys need to find a way to be nonchalant within trading. And this is something that was so freaking difficult for me. And again, goes back to that emotional connection to money, because when you guys are unprofitable and you guys are trying to learn how to trade, more often than not, we are not in good financial situations. We probably have a job that we hate and we think trading is going to help us get out of that job. It can get you out of that job, but it's going to be a lot harder and a lot more difficult than you guys think. And one of those issues that I faced within that first 3 to 6 months of trying to make trading work was I wanted it to happen far quicker than what reality actually had in store for me. And because of that, whenever I would lose a trade, I would get very emotional and I would get really upset. And I would take every single one of those losses to heart. Now, when you end up doing that, what do you end up doing? You end up revenge trading. You end up placing more risk on your next trade to be able to make up for the loss that you took on that trade because you're mad about it. And then what do you end up doing? You end up trading with your emotions, not with your edge, not with your strategy. And then you're, boom, right back to square one, trading with emotions rather than logic. So my advice to you guys is build the skill and the confidence of being a profitable trader before you guys end up actually going and risking any money. There's so many tools and so many different softwares and brokerages out there on the internet. I have a broker that I use consistently on a daily basis. You guys can check it out in the link in the description if you guys want. So these softwares and these brokerages actually give you guys the ability to be able to trade with fake money. So in turn, instead of getting really upset about the loss, you won't be upset about the loss because you didn't lose any money, okay? And this is one of the most powerful tools that you guys can use when trying to build the skill of day trading. Again, it's not going to be exciting because guess what? You're not making money and you're not losing any money. But again, like I was saying at the beginning of this video, we need to expand our timelines on where we want to go with trading. We need to understand that right now we are willing to put ourselves through a bunch of hard work and a bunch of discipline and a bunch of whatever, day-to-day consistent actions that are going to help us change our lives forever. So if we think about this small period of time that we're willing to give up, trying to get rich quick, trying to make as much money as possible within this small little window of period, and understand that, hey, this skill is actually going to take a little bit of time in order for us to be able to turn profitable and be able to change our lives. But that little bit of time on the grand scheme of our massive timeline of life is just going to be a small blip. And if we're able to dedicate that small blip of time in order to change our lives, then the rest of our timeline of life looks so much different than what it would be if we just don't do any of these actions. So I strongly advise you guys to trade on a paper or a demo trading account so you guys can, again, detach yourselves from that emotion of trying to make money within trading. And in turn, that is going to help you guys become nonchalant within trading because you guys are not going to be affected by the losses that you take. And in turn, you guys are going to be more willing to learn from those losses instead of taking emotional action following the loss. Because imagine this, I lose money on a real account. How am I going to feel? I'm going to be really pissed off because I'm dead broke and I didn't want to lose money for that day. I'm going to be mad because I wanted trading to make me rich quick, and in turn, what did it make me do? It made me broke faster. Okay, it actually made me poor quicker rather than rich quicker, and I'm going to end up taking horrible actions following that. Versus if I lose money on a fake trading account, one, I'm not going to be upset because I lost money. Two, I'm actually going to be able to learn from that loss and be able to get in and digest that loss and say, okay, what did I do wrong? I'm not going to be upset because I didn't lose any real money. And I'm going to be able to actually study that loss and turn that loss and turn that mistake into growth. And that is what's going to help you guys turn into a profitable trader, by detaching the emotional connection to money. And it's one of the most difficult skills that you guys need to learn, which is psychology. But that is the first pillar of trading that you guys need to learn in order to find success within trading. Moving on to the second pillar, and this kind of coincides with psychology, this is risk management. So again, once we understand that, hey, we shouldn't be trading with our emotions, and when we're trading emotionally, we're probably going to be risking far more than our risk profile is willing to give us. And on top of that, when we're trading based off of logic and based off of data, we know that we can't be risking our entire account per trade because we know that no day trader is going to have a 100% win rate. So this is a very key pillar, not only to be able to preserve our capital, but to be able to help us trade for the rest of our lives. And on top of that, just like how I was saying earlier in this video, to be able to scale once we do turn profitable, to be able to find different ways to be able to maximize our wins and minimize our losses. And that is risk management. It's a super important skill. So let's get into it. First and foremost, we need to drop our bad habits. This is super similar to psychology. These things are going to slow you guys down and hold you guys back from your guys' progress. Risk management is one of the biggest keys, and the biggest bad habit that I see people do is when they are trading on a live account and they haven't built up the skills and they haven't built up the confidence that they need in order to be a profitable trader, and they're trading on a live account and they lose money and they are like, man, I want to make that money back because I needed it to be able to pay for rent, to be able to pay for my food. And then in turn, what do? They end up risking a little bit more on another trade that they shouldn't be taking in the first place. And then it's an endless cycle of lose money, lose more money, and then eventually lose your whole account. These are bad habits. This is bad risk management. How can we get over this? By building out a risk management plan. We need to create a trading plan. This trading plan is going to help us eliminate our bad habits and start reinforcing new good habits that will directly translate into your guys' success of trading. Okay, so when we have bad habits, their habits. Okay, so we understand that, hey, we consistently do these things over and over again. But if we can put in our heads and maybe put down into our manifestation or law of attraction journal, just like I did back in the day. This is my journal back when I was an unprofitable trader. I'll literally read you guys through some of the things that I would say every single day. We'll skip over the I will be a millionaire and I will own a Lamborghini entries here, but this is what I would write down literally every single day and say out loud. I will take good trades. I will see good setups. I will be patient. I will be patient. I will be patient. I had an issue with patience. And then from there, I wrote out my entire trading strategy. I was saying like, I will only look at the 4 hour, 1 hour daily timeframes, all of this. On top of that, I said, I will trade with no emotion. I will grow my trading account to X amount. I will hit my daily goals. I will keep a positive mindset. I will read these goals daily. So by me reading through this on a daily basis, not only did it bring those bad habits to light every single morning because I was writing them down and I was saying them out loud, but I was also trying to build these new good habits that can replace bad habits. Okay, habits are habits. There's good ones and there's bad ones, but regardless, we have good habits that we do every single day and we have bad habits that we do every single day. A habit needs to be replaced with a new one. So right now, a lot of you guys have bad habits within trading. We are going to be able to remove those and replace them with good ones. But you guys have to be willing and able to know that, hey, this is going to be difficult to be able to change this bad habit out for a new good one. And I can't remember the amount of days, but I believe it takes 21 days to be able to break a bad habit, which again, it's actually not that long. It's literally 3 weeks, okay? It takes 21 days to break a bad habit and 90 days to replace it with a new good one and to have that good habit actually turn into a real habit. So the goal should be break those bad habits for 21 days. And while we're breaking those bad habits, we replace them with the new ones and then keep consistently with discipline working on those good habits to eventually be able to turn into what? A profitable trader. By reinforcing those good habits, we are going to help ourselves be able to stick to our risk management plan, be able to stick to our trading plan, and be able to stick to our good psychology to not make emotional decisions within the market. And then last but not least, you guys need to be disciplined. So none of this ends up working within psychology, within risk management, within our trading plan, unless we are disciplined. You guys need to be disciplined in order to be able to place smart trades and to be able to, 1, break those bad habits, 2, be able to replace them with good habits, and 3, be able to emotionally detach ourselves from the money within trading, which is pretty much all of what psychology is. All of psychology can be boiled down into just being disciplined. And when you feel those emotions arise, where you're like, holy shit, I just want to make all this money back right now. And I should have made money on this trade. I was right about this. Or, oh no, I'm scared that I'm going to miss out on this trade because it's going higher and higher and higher and higher. We know the end result that comes out of all of those emotions. It's always fucking bad. When in your entire life have you seen a trade that you're like, oh my gosh, it keeps going higher and higher. I just need to buy right now. And then you buy and then boom, it just goes in the opposite direction. And then you end up losing money. When have any of these emotional decisions led you guys to a good reward or to something that's beneficial? Never, ever, ever in your entire life. So in order to stick to these, we have to have the discipline to be able to say no to these emotions and to be able to stick to these trading and risk management plans that we've built out for ourselves. Now, let's get into the last pillar, which is going to be strategy. Pillar number 3, what every single trader loves and strives to learn the most about is going to be trading strategy. Now, keep in mind, this is very important, but a lot of you guys end up putting more importance on trading strategy than you guys do on risk management and psychology, and that is why you guys are unsuccessful within the markets. I'm sure almost 80%, if not 90% of the day trading videos that you guys have watched so far have been purely focused on understanding chart work, understanding confluences, understanding price action, trying to figure out where price wants to go. And you guys are thinking that this right here is going to be your golden ticket out of trading. And while that is partially true, imagine I'm a trader that has a high probability of predicting where price action wants to go on a daily basis. This is what strategy helps us do. And I get into the market and I have an 80% win rate. It's really good. I have an 80% win rate, but I have bad psychology and I have bad risk management. I get into the market, I place my first trade and I end up losing. It's part of that 20% of the losing win rate that I have. A disciplined and a profitable trader with good psychology and good risk management would, one, if that's their total risk allotment for the day, would call it a day, and they would be off the charts and they would be done for that day. Somebody that just has trading strategy without psychology and without a risk management plan will fall into their emotions, and they will take another trade that doesn't follow their strategy because now they're falling into their emotions. They're going to take a trade because they're angry, because they're greedy, because they want to make money for the day, because they don't actually have a risk management plan, and their risk management plan, or they don't even have one, doesn't even say that they're not allowed to take more trades for that day. So they ended up taking another trade, not based off the strategy that they have, but based off the emotions that they have. And in turn, what does that cause them to do? Take a losing trade. And on top of that, what will that likely cause them to lead and spiral down into? Losing their entire account, because they don't have risk management and they don't have the psychological discipline to be able to stick to their trading strategy. That's why we need to master all three of these pillars. Every single one of you guys, I can tell you without a doubt, puts way too much emphasis on trading strategy rather than psychology, risk management, and strategy together. A lot of you guys could really benefit from trying to master discipline, master your emotions within trading, and figure out a good risk management plan so that you guys can minimize your losses, maximize your wins, and help you guys scale within profitability. Strategy for most traders is the least of their worries. Why? Because it's the easiest thing to learn. Okay. A lot of people will go and watch a YouTube video and it's pretty fundamental. It's super simple. Hey, we wait for a liquidity sweep, and then we wait for a break of structure, and then we wait for a fair value gap to get filled. Then we scale down, then we look for an entry, we enter, and then we target new lows or new highs, and then we take profit. It's pretty simple. It's pretty mechanical, and it's relatively easy to learn and understand. The most difficult skills to be able to build and to be able to learn are the two that I covered before this, and that's why we put them first. Because a lot of you guys, if anything, are over-educating yourselves on trading strategy rather than psychology and risk management. And that's what's leading me into this point right here, which is my offer to you guys and what I've helped literally thousands of other students do, which is help them not only understand strategy, because I'm really, really freaking good at making predictions of where price wants to go with a high probability on a daily basis. But just like how I discussed earlier in this video, we need those other two skill sets to be able to perform within the markets. And if you guys are struggling with building those two skill sets, and it's difficult to articulate, and hopefully I've helped you guys within this video to be able to build those skill sets, then what I want to be able to do for you guys is, because you guys are probably overeducated on trading strategy, but you guys are undereducated on psychology and risk management, is I want to be able to help you guys get to where you guys want to go. Just like within this video, we've been laying out a straight and narrow path towards profitability. I want to be able to fast track your guys' path to profitability through actual mentorship and pre-recorded videos that actually go over all of these concepts to be able to help you guys get to where you guys want to go. Pre-recorded videos, that's one thing. You guys can find any and all of that information on YouTube. But what you guys can't find on YouTube is the 10,000 plus hours that I and other profitable coaches have put into the markets, where we've made mistakes that you guys are making that are super individualized, that are super personal to you, that you guys don't know how to solve. And that we are going to be able to solve them for you guys by getting on coaching calls with you guys, by interacting with you guys in the chat. You guys will literally be able to talk to us on a coaching call and just say, hey man, I'm struggling with this, or I took this trade off of this, and then this happened. I ended up losing, but I thought I followed the strategy correctly. And we'll be able to say, hey, look, you actually did everything right, but you missed out on this thing right here. And then boom, that problem solved, and you guys are instantly going to be able to grow. Versus if you guys try and do this on your own, you guys are going to be making psychological, risk management, and strategy mistakes that you guys may not even think that you guys are making, because the way that you guys digested the content on YouTube, you guys think that everything you're doing is correct, when in fact, you guys may be doing every single thing incorrectly. And that's why these coaching calls are so beneficial. And that's why having a mentor is so beneficial, is because when you guys are able to actually come to somebody that has proven profitability within the markets, just like I have by showing you guys literally when I enter, when I exit every single day, and showing you guys P&L, like that is proof of profitability. And you guys being able to come to me and say, hey, I have this issue within my trading and I make this mistake, whatever, over and over and over again. And I can be like, look, that's actually not a mistake. You're doing that correctly, but you're actually doing this thing right here incorrectly that you thought you've been doing correctly for your entire career of trading. And that's the issue that you need to fix. That information is not online for free. That information can only come from a mentor and can only come from a coach who has been in your guys' shoes before and has been through that unprofitable route that you guys are trying to get towards profitability. And that is where I can be the biggest service to you guys, because these questions and these lessons and mistakes that you guys are making, we can't put them into a YouTube video, not because I don't want to, but because every single one of you guys is going to be making different mistakes and is going to have different lessons that you guys need to learn that are personalized to you, that are very specific and very advanced, that are going to take solutions that aren't necessarily going to be covered on a YouTube video. Maybe one or two of those mistakes that you guys have been looking for a solution for the past 6 months, you end up finding a little gem within a YouTube video, and then boom, you guys got it, and there's a slight room for growth. But then you guys are on the hunt for that next YouTube video that's going to be able to solve the next problem and the next mistake, to be able to get to that next level, to be able to help you guys get closer to profitability. And that's a problem. By doing this on your own, it makes your path a lot longer and a lot more difficult. And when you have somebody that's been through those mistakes before, that knows all the solutions that you guys are going through and knows the solutions to the mistakes and the lessons that you guys need to learn, you guys are going to be able to fast track your guys' path to profitability. And that's what I want to help you guys do. Where, yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know trading strategy to what you guys think to a fucking T. But you guys may be marking confluences incorrectly. You guys may be marking out or taking trades off of confluences and price action that you guys shouldn't be taking. And you guys think you're doing it correct. But then when you come to us as mentors and coaches and you guys say, hey, this is what I've been doing. I'm doing everything right. I don't know where I'm going wrong. And we're like, bro, you've been doing everything wrong this entire time. You guys won't be able to find that in a YouTube video, because what you guys perceive as what you're following that YouTube video to a T, you guys are actually doing it incorrectly. And that's why having a mentor and that's why having a coach is so important within your path to profitability, is because we're able to actually highlight your guys' mistakes, and you guys are able to come to us with your mistakes, and we're going to be able to give you guys solutions to every single one of those mistakes so that you guys can speed run your path to profitability. If this sounds interesting to you guys can click the link down in the description to be able to be mentored by me and a bunch of other profitable coaches. It's literally one of the best programs within the day trading space. We have far more results than any other mentor, and there's a reason why I have so many subscribers on here and so many followers on Instagram, so many followers on TikTok. It's because I help traders just like you guys get to where you guys want to go within trading. Okay, so that's the first part of strategy, is just having a mentor and having somebody that has been in your guys' position before to be able to help you guys scale to where you guys want to go, to be able to get over those little mistakes that we can't articulate on YouTube videos because they're personalized to you. Number 2 is understanding that fundamentals and less is more. I'm sure a lot of you guys have came across YouTube video after YouTube video, and this is part of that over education where you guys are like, man, I wish that there's going to be one secret key that's going to help me, boom, just break through and turn profitable in trading. And I know that there's one specific confluence or one specific part of this strategy that I'm missing. It's not. It's focusing on the 3 pillars of trading. The most frequently asked question to me as a mentor and as a coach is, TJR, what's the one thing that you heard, or what's the one thing that you learned that just helped trading click? And once you learned it, you turn profitable. You guys are on the edge of your seat right now. There's no such thing. The thing that makes trading click is getting 1% better every single day, by working on your psychology, by maximizing your risk management plan, by focusing on your trading strategy and sticking to it, by sticking to your risk management plan, by not falling into emotions, and by replacing those bad habits with good habits every single day. That is what makes trading click. And it doesn't make it click instantly. It's over a long period of time. And that's the sad reality of trading. I'm sorry if I broke your heart today, honey, but guess what? That's the sad reality of trading. And that is what's going to help you guys be able to get to where you guys want to go. It's just literally stripping that down and saying, guess what? You're not going to get rich quick from trading. But on the massive timeline of your life, I can promise you, you're going to get rich a lot faster than anybody else trying to do anything else, by dedicating your life and a small period of your life to this skill to be able to scale to where you guys want to go, and focusing and understanding that less is more within trading. The more you guys look and the more you guys dig, the more overanalyzing you guys are going to do, the more analysis paralysis you guys are going to have. And it's just going to be really difficult for you guys to be able to scale, to be able to get to where you guys want to go within trading. Focus on the fundamentals, find a strategy that works for you, find confluences that make sense to you, and stick to it and work on them every single day. Focus on discipline, focus on detaching yourself from emotions, focus on sticking to your risk management plan, and stick to a strategy that makes sense to you, that helps you guys predict where price action wants to go on a daily basis with a high probability. And that is how you guys are able to copy me in order to turn into a profitable trader. It's a long and it's a very difficult road, but I promise you guys, if you guys are able to stick to it, and if you guys can understand these 3 pillars of trading and work your ass off every single day to be able to get over these emotions, to be able to focus on your risk management plan, and to be able to find a strategy and an edge on the market that helps you predict price action with a high probability, you guys will be successful. And with that being said, I love and appreciate you guys. Drop a sub if you guys haven't already. Peace out.